Hi, I'm Preston Walker, licensed marriage family therapist in Nevada and Utah, but today I am in Orlando, Florida. We're at the ISNR conference. This is the 30th anniversary. ISNR is the International Society for Neuroregulation and Research. We're here to learn about all things neurofeedback, photobiomodulation, vagus nerve stimulation. It's all very fascinating. Stay tuned. We're going to tell you what we learn in these workshops, and we're going to be interviewing the vendors.
Divergence Neuro. My name's Alex Nee, and I am showing Scott here how the new BrainBit device works on Divergence platform doing remote neurofeedback. So yeah, we're just gonna kick off a protocol that Scott just wrote here. So off we go. So we'll search the device again. So I'm just gonna walk you through this and click that, and then just wait for the connectivity to start. First minute, I want you to just stay relaxed.
Okay.
Establish an accurate baseline. And
Okay.
The second minute will be the active portion, so you're going to try to be more relaxed and zen now. So think about your day as you're starting the first minute. Just let your mind wander, kind of just be, your everyday self. Yeah.
Perfect. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start
Yep, go for it. So while you're doing that, there's a way that I can see your actual brain waves coming through. So you can see that there's one channel only. That's because Scott picked only T4. So that's why we're looking at the T4 brainwave. It's quite sturdy and nice quality brainwave here. You can see that a little bit. And if you want to see all the brainwaves, it's where you can see that as well. There's some muscle noise, I think, around his occipital area. I'm not sure why. Yeah, it's probably not relevant because we're not using O102 in this case, so that's actually fine. So let's go back to focus on this protocol, which is T4. It looks quite clean, as you can see. So right now we're only seeing his baseline, so we're collecting enough baseline information as he's just being himself. After the minute baseline is up, we're going to use a naturally established 60% threshold, translating from the baseline values into actual microvolts. So we see that the threshold is at around 1. Okay, so if he relaxes, it goes above 1. He's getting the feedback. So you see that he's getting the feedback. The volume will go louder, and the screen will be brighter, and the converse is true. So as I'm watching him, I see that he's probably struggling a little bit here. What I can do is I can lower that threshold to 0.6 and see how Scott does. So I just did that. So with this threshold being lower during his session, he's going to be able to achieve obviously a bit more feedback because we're rewarding 13 to 15. So as you can see, there's more area above the threshold now, so I can actually sit with him and mold him during the session. Now, when he's doing this on his own, it's just whatever baseline comes off the baseline part of the protocol. So you go ahead and complete that protocol, and there's a little questionnaire. So tell us how you felt. Moving that little thing. Tricky on this. Slide the whole thing. Submit it. Okay, great. So now Scott just finished his first SMR protocol, so I can go ahead as the therapist and clinician, see how he did, right after the protocol. So I can see up here the raw EEG. As you can see, it takes a few seconds to settle, so we're going to move past this and actually see how the raw EEG looks like. So this part is interesting because, especially when you're not there with the client, right? You want to know how their connection has been when they've done certain protocols. And one quick way you can get to know that is you look at the raw EEG waveforms here. So you can see that, aside from the occasional heartbeat here, muscle movements and artifacts, it's pretty much clean. So you can kind of navigate back and forth. Okay, and then you can inspect the raw EEG. Some muscle movement back there and muscle tension, in the neck area, but because we're not looking at O102, that's actually fine. So down here is where the goat is, and you can see sort of the established baseline. There's a huge spike that threw off the scale a little bit, and then how much Scott's above the baseline threshold, which is when he's getting feedback and how much is below. So overall, Scott did pretty well for first try. He's got 65% of the time he's got feedback. So that represents the total aggregate in the curve above the threshold line. So this is something, as you're working with a client in real time, you can adjust that feedback threshold in order to shape them more dynamically, right? So we're also working with dynamic algorithms as well to develop more, dynamic ways to establish that threshold during the exercise itself without, a therapist's human or manual intervention, I should say. So that's basically how that works. Yeah, it's nice and simple. About a minute or so setup time, and off we go. So yeah.
Does sweat impact this?
Not so much because the metal sensors are actually quite effective establishing direct contact to your scalp. And unlike some of the traditional gel saline-based pads, where sweating could create salt bridges or change impedance potentially, this one doesn't quite rely on a certain amount of moist to establish connectivity, so it just goes directly against your scalp anyway. But if you're too dry, it might, in extreme circumstances, might have trouble establishing connectivity. I've yet to see that happen,
Okay.
which is the advantage of the metal pogo connectors. So,
Excellent.
yeah, thanks. How did that feel?
That was great. I could totally
that was
feel the
responding?
effect. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was fantastic.
Excellent. Yeah,
It's a little bit of SMR. in my
For
brain.
sure, yeah. Thanks very much. Yeah,
You're
so
welcome,
just a little tidbit. There's another form factor of this as well. So I can actually put this on a cap, and this device allows
yeah.
me to flexibly place where I want the channels to be. And then to do that, I just simply take one of these electrodes and I clip through the mesh net, and I'm going to clip it on a lead here. Once I finish clipping through all 4 leads, I can actually put on this headset very easily, like so. And I can do my link here reference on the side, and I can start streaming EEG within about a minute or so. So that's the next form factor that Brain Beta is coming out with. Same deminiaturized amplifier, everything's wireless, dry. It's a great option for in-home training.
Awesome. Thank you.